I'm Nina, Bonina Brown, and you are now watching the Nina channel. Oh, I hate my life.
Hiya, Georgie. What a nice boat. Do you want it back?
Yes, please.
Look like a nice boy. Do you want a balloon too, Georgie?
I'm not supposed to take stuff from strangers.
Oh, well, I'm Pennywise the dancing clown.
I should get going now.
Without your boat? Here, take it. Tastes like chicken.
Hey guys, it's me, Nina Bonina Pennywise Brown, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for everybody coming today. Yes, this is going to be a It Chapter 2 Rawview. Did I buy it? Did I rent it? And it will be spoilers, so fair warning. Don't want any spoilers? Come back after you've seen the movie and watch this review. Or Rawview. Let's just say that you're going to need to commit to this movie. It's 3 hours long. And they really try to add a lot of things from the book to the movie. And I'm not going to lie, throughout it, I found myself, is it almost over? But I'll give my final 1 to 10 scale number at the end. Okay, so let's just say the good things about this is that it really went there. As far as the gore was up to par, the shock value was there. And by that, you know, let's give an example. We'll start with this. So there was a couple of like homosexual kind of like just moments there with bashing and all kind of things. And the first scene literally opening up is this homosexual couple that's at a fair carnival, and they are being harassed by just bullies and dairy. But I will say, I hope that some of this opened the eyes of some homophobic people and how they treat us. But then again, they probably cheered when a certain thing happened. Okay, so they were bullying the guys. One of the lovers kind of had a mouth and was like getting back at them, which is kind of probably what I would do, like, excuse you. And the other lover was like, no, let's just ignore them, let's keep going, because he didn't want no trouble. Anyway, long story short, he talks junk, they walk away, then the bullies come to them. They beat the guy up, I mean beat him up really bad, especially one of them really just like tore his face up. And then not only that, threw him literally over the bridge into this little river. And if that wasn't bad enough, Pennywise ass is on the other side. He can barely see, the guys can barely see because his eyes are all like tore up, and he's swimming towards the clown to get out the water. And if that was my black ass, I'd have been like, oh no, this river is going to carry me to a water bitch to my death, or I am going to swim the other way. So he gets picked up by Pennywise after being bullied and beat up, and then Pennywise takes a big ass chunk out of his arm and chest. I can't. That's when I knew, oh, they're not playing. They went there. I can't. Okay, and then, you know, it pretty much just kind of picks back kind of where it left off. Kind of, if you've seen the original It movie, the TV miniseries, it's the same thing with just some better technology, CGI. In fact, it was a little too much CGI. At some moments, it felt a little too cartoonish. And also, it was some moments where I was like, did Bill even need to be there? You know, the guy that plays Pennywise, because I don't know. And that's the other thing. It's so many things I'm gonna be jumping back and forth to, but it was moments where I felt like he wasn't as scary as he was in the first movie, as in the remake first movie. He It's almost like they told him, don't take yourself too seriously, just be a straight up clown. And that's what he did. It was a little too goofy. It was moments where our audience didn't know whether they were laughing at the wrong moments when things weren't supposed to be funny. And speaking of that, girl, let me tell y'all my experience though. We get to the movies, go into the theater, the credits go off, the movie's coming on. I'm like, okay. And on my screen is Samuel L. Jackson wearing an eye patch. I'm like, is Samuel L. Jackson in It Chapter 2? And then somebody beside me was like, this is Spider-Man. I can't, girl. They literally were playing Spider-Man. So like, we all kind of left out, complained, and then they fixed it. I can't. But not only that, I ordered my tickets for Thursday showing before Friday, like a week ago. When I ordered my ticket, literally nobody was sitting beside me. I get there, a guy is right beside me, and then the other guy that said the Spider-Man thing, there was a seat in between us. I don't like to sit around people like that. I'm like, and literally the theater wasn't even full. All the seats, but I guess they all want to sit in the middle part. And the guy is so comfortable in his little flip-flops, reclining back, taking his flip-flops off, wiggling his toes through the whole movie. I can't. Anyway, like I was saying, it kind of piggybacks, it takes you back to each character and what they're doing now. And let's just speak of the cast real quick. So Jessica Chastain, who's playing the adult version of Beverly Marsh, I thought she did a good job. I really did. I thought she had emotions. I think she's so pretty, and I just liked looking at her. James McAvoy, of course, he played Bill Denbrough, and James is always good. I mean, I think he always kind of plays almost the same kind of role. Like, he's good at giving the emotions, but it's kind of always the same. Some people that I talked to said that they didn't really buy his stuttering. The stuttering didn't convince them. They should have came to me. I'm a stuttering person, so. But I thought he did okay. And in fact, he didn't really have a big enough role. I thought, if anything, for real, Isaiah Mustafa, who played Mike Hanlon, I thought he had more of a role than anybody, to be honest. And I'll come back to him, but yeah, James did okay. And if you've seen the original It, you know, most of his story was him trying to, you know, get over what happened to Georgie, but also get his wife back from Pennywise.
Mine too. We were going so fast, I think we beat the devil. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it, Audra.
This time around, his wife was just in the beginning of the movie. And they kept overusing this joke because he wrote the story for this movie, whatever. And they were telling him how bad his ending was. And they kept repeating that same joke throughout the movie. And we're like, we get it. It was a reference to, like, I guess, Stephen King and whatever, Anyway. But this time his wife was not even around, so that wasn't even his main focus, to get his wife back from Pennywise. Bill Hader, who played Richie Tozier, if I'm pronouncing that right, you know, the comedian. My friend Claire told me that Bill really hasn't done any serious roles like this, and he's normally improvising, and he was pretty much just joking a lot, but I thought he did pretty good for what he could do. Which Richie was another story that I think was up to the audience to, you know, interpret, but like to interpret that he is probably homosexual because I guess he had a love interest in Eddie, who was played by James Ransone. I'll get to him in a second, but it never really said much about it. But Pennywise, during the scene where Richie is adult and let's say this. There comes a moment in the movie where they all split up, like idiots, but they have to split up to find something that will help jog their memory and something that is dear to them. They have to put each piece of the artifact into this thing to stop Pennywise. Anyway, during his scene, whatever, Pennywise is floating down and he has this song. They even gave Pennywise a song. He's like, I know your secret. Anyway. You gotta watch the movie. And he keeps talking about his secret, which I'm assuming is that Richie is homosexual. But anyway, moving back to Isaiah Mustafa, who plays Mike Hanlon. I only know Isaiah from the Old Spice commercials, the black guy who's like, yes, Old Spice.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me.
He was okay. The acting was okay. I thought he always sounded like he was on edge, no matter what. It's like, we gotta, come on guys, we gotta do this. We have to do this. Like, it was just always that. He was okay. Zabalabazee, Kabalabazoo. In fact, I think I enjoyed the old school character better, played by Tim Reed from Sister Sister. Oh, sorry, I was just looking at pictures of Jonathan Brandis, the one that played the original Bill in the original ad, the guy from Never Ending Story and Ladybugs. He was so, I was just thinking about how he took his own life. Oh my God. But anyway, now moving on to James Ransone again. I don't know where he's from. I think he's a cute guy, but even his acting was just a little suspicious in some scenes. Like, it was just, like, there's a moment where the bully, the one that plays the adult version of Henry Bowers, his name was Teach Grant. He, you know, as you know in the book, Pennywise helps him break out of this like mental jail, this house, whatever, and his mission is to kill all the Loser Club members. And so he literally stabs Eddie in the mouth, and when Eddie gets stabbed, he's just still like kind of goofy. I'm like, shouldn't you be in pain more? Like, it just wasn't convincing at moments. Jay Ryan, who played the older version of Ben Hansen, can I just say that man is handsome? Oh, that is a handsome man. Girl, I can't. Beverly, if you don't want him, I do. I thought he did a pretty good job, and he kind of did resemble the younger little chubby boy. I could see it in his face. Andy Bean, who played Stanley. I don't know who he is, but he was kind of cute too. And he had a nice butt. Oh, girl. I was like, if this guy was not sitting beside me in a theater, my hands would be in my pants. JK. And you know, in the original movie, and Stanley doesn't get to join the rest of the Losers Club because unlike everybody else, he remembered everything that happened. Everybody else forgot what happened, but he remembered everything. So when he got that phone call that it was time to come back to Derry and complete the promise that they all made, the blood promise to defeat Pennywise, he took his own life. And they showed him getting to the tub with that booty. Ooh. So that's pretty much the cast, as far as the adult cast. The kids are the same actors, but what they did, which was very noticeable, they used CGI, and I think almost not all the kids, but most of them, to make them look the same age. And you could tell it was very cartoony. The Jeremy Ray Taylor, the chubby one that plays Ben, he looked even more chubbier. He looked like a cartoon. The kid that plays Richie, the glasses looked really, really extra CGI. And what's just weird about it, they knew they were going to make a sequel, so I don't get why they didn't just record right after the first movie. Maybe they didn't know which route they wanted to go. You know, Mike is trying to get everybody back together to Derry to end Pennywise because the killings are happening again. It's been 27 years later. He's been studying this whole thing of how to defeat Pennywise. And like the old movie, they finally do agree to come, and the restaurant scene, you know, the old school restaurant scene. And it was kind of the same thing, but they added a few more things to it to make it was a little more creepier. They had some floating kid heads in the aquarium. They had a little more few animals in the fortune cookie meat. So that was pretty good. That was pretty good. And speaking of kids again, like, it was a scene where like the kids are dead bodies, those kids are floating out of the sewer. They went there. This other scene, oh my God, like where they really went there, it was so sad. This little girl was at a game with her mom and them watching a game, and they were sitting on the bleachers, and the mom was kind of like not paying the girl any attention. So the girl saw this lightning bug, and she started following the lightning bug, and just in a daze. She goes under the bleacher, the lightning bug is going further under in the dark, and then that's the part you see on the commercial where you see his hands go.
time out.
That part with his acting, I didn't really like either. But she almost was smart because he was like, I'm just looking for a friend. And she's like, you're not my friend. If you were my friend, you wouldn't be hiding in the dark. You're scary. And then she starts to walk away, and then he's like fake crying. Oh, poor Pennywise. Nobody wants to be my friend. And then because she had a birthmark on her face, and she's like, oh, people pick on me too, and they don't want to be my friend because I have this birthmark. And he's like, no, that's not right. I can blow that away for you. And she's like, really? And he's like, but you have to get closer. And so she starts walking closer, and he's like, count to 3. She's counting or whatever. He's counting, and she's like, 1, 2, and then her eyes are closed, and Pennywise's face is changing. The eyes are rolling up. He's starting to drool, and she's saying, you're supposed to say 3. And before she can even say 3, he literally bites into her face, and they went there. And I will say this movie did do a better job at explaining why Pennywise is what it is and how he came here and how to stop him. But then again, it still doesn't make sense, but it's just up to you to buy the bullshit. It showed another turtle. For those of y'all that know the turtle references in the Pennywise It Chapter movies, in the novel and book, in the movies, you know that the turtle is the good and Pennywise is the bad. It's almost like a God and devil thing in a way. But pretty much, according to this movie, millions of years ago, this native culture were on Earth and everything was good, and then out of nowhere, this comet came from space, which was Pennywise. It landed, and it appeared to them in a different form, and it pretty much killed. And so what it showed on the little, I can't explain what it was some big artifact that Mike had that they had to put all their artifacts in, some little vase thing that had all these symbols on there. Pretty much they had to all stand united and say something like, don't go into the light, don't look in the light, and it's supposed to work, and Pennywise is dead, da-da-da-da-da. But what he didn't tell them is that it really didn't work, and that tribe died. But y'all have to watch the movie for all that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end, it's kind of the same thing in a way where Pennywise turns to this big-ass spider. What I liked about this one better is that the spider still had the clown head, and so it made him make more sense. And I remember them saying that they were going to talk more about what happened in the fire in Derry in this movie, but they really didn't. They showed a little bit of Mike and his little scene where he's trying to find his artifact and his parents a little bit, but then not really. There were a lot of jump scares, but then eventually the jump scares, you already knew it was going to be a jump scare and what would happen. But it was okay. It was pretty much just the same as the old movie, just with a few little new twists. Stephen King made an appearance in the movie. I swear, has he ever been attractive? I was like, oh, Stephen, girl, you've been through it. So, in the old movie, when Eddie eventually dies, from, when he think he killed Pennywise, but then Pennywise stabs him, whatever. It was sadder.
Richie, please. For the last time, don't call me that.
Because the actor Dennis Christopher, who played him, I bought his character more than I bought James Ransone. I thought he was much more of this. I could see him. I bought his still nerdy adult version, and when he was dying, I was more sad for him. This time around, I wasn't that sad for him dying. And speaking of dying, Pennywise, when he dies, it was kind of funny because they made him shrink. They kind of bullied him and reversed it on him and made him believe he was smaller than what he was. So he turned to this little kind of like baby version of himself, and he was so ugly. Oh my God. You know, after that, pretty much when he was dead, we probably had like 20 minutes left of the movie, and our audio went out in our theater. First, y'all play Spider-Man, and then the audio goes out. I always thought it was somebody that worked in a little part that's up there where the projector's coming out, but I guess not. So at the end, we all got like free tickets and like a large popcorn and a drink for the next time. But sorry y'all, I'm kind of all over the place, rambling and jambling, but just trying to get everything out. Overall, I'm going to give It Chapter 2 a 7. I had a lot of people give it a 6.5. I just don't think it was as good as the last movie that came out. When the last one came out, I literally bought the DVD. I bought the DVD. I was like really excited about it. This time I wasn't even as excited. I don't know why. And a lot of y'all are gonna read me. I actually enjoyed Child's Play better, the remake. I really did. And it was produced by Lars Klevberg, one of the producers on this new It movie. And I think because I know people just automatically hated Child's Play because they hated how the doll looked. They hated that it wasn't a voodoo doll and that he didn't have a soul. But I appreciate it because it was something so new. It was a new take on it. It was a fresh take on it. And the technology of what an AI can do with all this technology now. And I liked it. This one, you already knew what was going to happen. And it was long. And it was just so much going on that it's hard to remember everything, which is why I'm having a hard time now. Dare I say it was kind of forgettable? But anyway, I'm curious to what you guys think about It Chapter 2. Did y'all like it? Did y'all think it was better than the original movie? Did y'all think it was better than the 2 years ago, the It remake movie? What do y'all think? Because like I said, the good for me is it went there. It really showed, because a lot of movies kind of stay away from like kids dying. This went there. But yeah, it had its goods. The bads were just some of the acting I didn't buy. I didn't really find Pennywise this scary this time. It was a little too much CGI. It was kind of all over the place, like my Rawview right now. So yeah, I give it a 7. Anyway, thank y'all for coming tonight, today, this morning, whatever time it is for you. And I hope y'all enjoyed this all over the place Rawview. Sorry, it probably could be better, but I'm just tired. It's late. And as always, stay beat, stay beautiful, and stay blessed. Bye.